Hello, my name is Nephi Wolf, and I'm with NCSI, and this is video 9 in our extraction series. And in this video, we're going to be going over the filters and how you can use those. So we'll switch over to the website here. So when you're looking at an extraction dashboard here, one of the first things that you have is over here on the left side, you can set the default filter. So this is going to be the filter that applies to any new items that you add. So if we so right now it's set to 4 months, and so you can see if we change this to 7 months and save this, so nothing happens over here, but any new things that we add in there, there we go. So any new things that we add will be for the last 7 months. So you can kind of see how that will apply to any new stuff that gets added. And so let's see, we'll go over this pop-up in just a minute. So you also have this filter action up here, and so you can edit the filters. So you can edit the filters for everything here. You can update the date filters, so you can just change the dates for everything on here. Then you can clear the temporary filters and then clear all the filters so you can show everything. So editing the filters, so you'll notice that we have an incident, and a service request, and a service request. So we'll change the source. We can change it to incidents, for example, and then we could add a condition, and we'll go over all of these things in the next few minutes, but we'll add a condition. We'll say where active equals yes, and then we add that on there. So if we apply all, it won't apply it to the service request because the service request schema is different. It may not have an active, and actually it does not have an active field. But we can, if we choose apply all, it'll apply it to everything that applies. So like incidents, it'll apply it to both incidents. Or we can just surgically come in and we can just say we just want to apply it to this one, and that adds it over there. Or we can also come in and we can remove conditions. So we can see all the conditions for all the things on the dashboard. And we can change those without having to go in and look at every single item here. So that's what that looks like. And then the date conditions, kind of the same thing. It changes to every 6 months. You can see it's 4 months, 4 months. So we just change it to every 6 months, and now everything is updated to every 6 months. It's all last 6 months. So we have that there. And then we also have, this is where you'll probably do a lot of your work, is in the filters here. So with these filters, you can see in this example, this is a date filter. And so if we were to right click and we add a date condition, so these ones can be dynamic. So we can say during the last 6 months or before the last 6 months, it's older than 6 months. Or we can do like a future, we could do after 6 months. And we could do months, we could do years, clear the selection. And we could say during the last 2 years or something like that. And then also another thing with these to pay attention to is include current. So right now when we say the last 2 years, it's going to start at the previous year, 2023, and then also do 2022. So maybe we want to get the current year or the current month or the current week. So then this one will get this year and then go back 1 more year. So the last 2 years, including this year. So you can check that checkbox to include the current week or the current month. So those are dates. And then you can also do a fixed date filter where you could just pick a specific date. You can also add in dates here. You could add a condition in here and you could do like the creation date. But then these ones are just, they're dumb dates. So you'd have to type in the exact date that you want there. You wouldn't be able to do something dynamic like last month. So dates, you really want to go with the date condition. So you can also add a condition, and these are what you're probably used to. You can choose from any of the fields that have been set up. So you can choose, the active, that's just the first one on the list, whether equals or contains or is not null. You can use all those different comparisons there. And then, so in this case, I'm going to use category. And so you may not know all the different categories. So you can click on this magnifying glass here, and you can search all the values that are in your database. So this won't show every category. This will show every category that's been used by an incident. So we can click on this search, and it'll show all these different categories here. And then you could do like a matching. So if we search for lock, we have account lockout, match that. So that way you don't have to know every value that's going to be in there. And then you can either double click on these to move them down there, or you can highlight them and you can add them, and you can add those down there like that. So one thing to know, I'm just going to add a few of these. So when you have multiple items of the same thing, so category equals account lockout, category equals application failure, these are all the same object, category. So when you have more than one of the same thing, then Xtraction will treat this as an OR. So it won't say the category has to be account lockout, and it also has to be application failure, and it also has to be application security, because you couldn't have more than one category. Then this would return nothing. So if you add multiple items of the same thing, category equals this, then it will treat this as an OR. So it's account lockout or application failure or application security. So it will do this without really showing you that it's doing it, but I just want you to be aware of that. So something you can do, so this is just a regular condition, but we can change this to an advanced filter, and we'll get the exact same functionality. But now we can combine these things like this. So this says, and this first thing, and this second thing. So this, we could really just drag this up to the top level. Drag it up there. Now we can get rid of this one. So this says, and the created date is during the last 4 months. Let's reset that. Sure, last 2 months. So the created date is during the last 2 months, and the category is one of these 4. So this is the same thing that we had before. This is exactly how it was working before. But now as an advanced filter, you can really control that, and you could add in different, you could add in nested ands, nested ors. So we could, add one in there. So you can really make these a lot more complicated. So this is the basic filtering here. I'm going to reset this. So then we can create a standard filter. So reset filter will reset everything. Then you have to create a new standard or advanced filter. Clear the conditions. That just removes those, all the different conditions in there and takes it back down to just a standard filter. So you can add conditions in there where the category equals X, date conditions where it's created in the last 3 months or last updated in the last week or something. Then we have field conditions, so we can compare things, two different fields. So with the field condition, we could say where the customer, for example, equals, and then we could go down and choose the owner. So this would be all incidents that are assigned to themselves. And so then we can do that, and that'll show us that the customer is AREV, the owner is AREV, customer is Nephi, owner is Nephi. So that'll show us, so that's a field condition. We can compare two different filters. We can compare two different fields. So we have field conditions. We're going to skip subqueries for this one here. And then we have variable conditions. So when I first opened this, it prompted me, and I have a parameter that I can fill in. And I can use this parameter. So for example, I'll show you here the owner table. We see Alan Taylor there. There's another one that I just had set up. So I'm just going to choose Abby Melton. So Abby is this parameter here, and I'm going to show you how you get that. So on the top level of your dashboard, you can create a new parameter, and in this case, I just this is what you see. Select the user, give it a variable name, whatever you want, and then you can choose which field this is going to look up from. So in this case, I chose the owner field. So when I come in here and I set this value, this is looking up all of the owners that are in this filter. So it's not looking up all users, it's just looking up everybody that is in the owner field of an incident. So these are all the different owners here. And then so when we come in here and we set up this parameter, then which field is it going to look up those values? And so we have a parameter that we can refer to now. And whenever you open up the dashboard, it'll ask you to choose to fill in the parameter value. And so with this parameter, you can quickly change it. So maybe it's a date, maybe it's a date range or something like that. It's a person or a priority, something like that. So we can set that parameter quickly. We can come in here and we can change that. We can change it up here. But then we can use it on all of these dashboards here, or all of these gadgets. So as you come in here, we can add a variable condition, and we can say we want to see all of these where, and it is looking up on the owner field, but maybe we don't want to use owner. We'll say show us all of these where the customer equals that user field. So we'll have another condition there. So this says that this list here is going to show us all of them where the customer is equal to that. So we did filter off of the owner field, but that was just our lookup. That just got us our value of Abby Melton. And then we use the filter here. So this is showing us all of the incidents where that parameter. And so then we could come in here and we could say, we could just choose somebody different, choose Alan. And then this shows us all of them where the customer is Alan. And the good thing about that is maybe you have this set, we're setting this filter on each one of these gadgets. And so instead of having to go through and click on this top level and edit the filters and say, okay, we want to do the incidents first, and we go through and we set all of this, and then we apply where the customer is Alan, and then we go through and change all of that. Instead of having to go through and change every one of those, we can just have a dynamic parameter that we can use, and we can quickly change it. We can just come in here and we can change it to myself. In there? Okay. So there's all of my incidents. So we can just change the filters on there really quick. Let's see. So that is the variable condition there. And then clear the conditions. You can just, so we have all these conditions here. Clear them and it takes it back down to the basic type, or we could reset it and it takes it all the way back down to the basic level. And then the last thing that I want to show you is we can, let's see, so we'll create a standard filter. So when you have one of these filters, let's just go to one that already exists here. So this filter here. So with this filter, you can save it. So if you have a complex filter or a filter that you want to use multiple times, you can then save it. You can choose, which folder you want to save it in, give it a name. You could create a filter for each condition or just leave them all grouped together, make it public so that other people could find that filter. And then you can open a saved filter, and then you can so we just have that saved filter. So it'll load, if you have some complex filter or if you're just going to use it a bunch of times, you can save the filter and then you can go into a different object here and you can just open that filter. So that's all the different things that you can do with filters, and hopefully you found this video useful, and we'll have a new one for you soon.